In Hollow Knight Silksong, if you want to go to the Pinterest's house and then to the Sands of Karak, you have to go through this path, which is entirely blocked by a boss fight against the Great Conchflies. A pair of Conchfly mates that deserve to be together and to share their love forever. Hornet doesn't want to be the bad one anymore, so let's find a way to avoid them and get to the Sands of Karak. Hello everyone, I am Kilroy was here, and I am here today to save pure and true love in Hollow Knight Silksong. You know, this is a trope that has been repeated in multiple games before. It reminds me of when you have to kill the Guardian Ape in Sekiro, and when he dies, his mate immediately cries out in pain, and then you have to fight them both together later on. The point being, this is done too often, breaking up happy couples that should not be killed. And I just want to find a way to avoid it. That's the whole reason I'm making this video. We're trying to preserve some happiness in Farloom for once, okay? So let's get to it. To begin with, you may wonder, if you took a look at a full map of Hollow Knight Silksong, why I couldn't just take another path to Farloom. If I do so, another path to the Sands of Karak in Farloom. If you do so, shouldn't you just be able to avoid the fight entirely and avoid having to kill a Great Conchfly? Now that would work, except this map doesn't show you that this path does not exist until you go from the Sands of Karak to here. A flea exists, yes! So that's something you can be happy about. But yeah, you have no way of getting up here without unlocking the shortcut from the other side. Same with the other path that goes up. But the thing about these paths is that even though they aren't unlocked on the map here, they can be unlocked using a little something called the no-clip glitch. A glitch I've showed off extensively that you can get done with Grandmother Silk and a Silk Eater. You can also get it done in some other ways, but they're more difficult and I find them a lot more annoying to do. So I figured, why not bypass the boss fight entirely and see if I don't have to kill any Conchfly? Because realistically, if I don't kill them in the encounter down below, their lover shouldn't come and attack me, right? Another day, another brutal session, brutalizing Grandmother Silk. She really can't catch a break. Can Team Cherry patch in a different enemy that I can activate this glitch on, just for like mercy's sake at this point? This is a video about saving love. Maybe this should be a video where I turn around on all of my evil-doing ways. And anyway, okay, so yeah, I activate the Silk Eater here, and I activate the no-clip glitch again. So the no-clip glitch is very versatile in being able to skip encounters, because obviously getting locked in against encounters against certain bosses is the only thing that prevents you from just leaving the room when you're fighting them. And getting locked in doesn't mean loading zones disappear. So theoretically, I could be able to take the loading zone that comes in after the Great Conchflies without killing them. I could take the loading zone for any of the shortcuts that would normally send you to the Sands of Karak, because even though the shortcuts are blocked off, they would always be loaded in the file just based on how this game is programmed. And obviously, I can get to the Blasted Steps, and that's one of the tramways that I have absolutely no issue getting down from once I pause. I've been told I don't need to pause, but I just do it anyway because nice pogo there, hell yeah. I do it anyway just because it's very annoying to get sent into the void when you have this glitch active, because you do have to do the entire fight against Grandmother Silk every time you want to activate it. So I would relish a day where a new no-clip glitch is discovered, but this one is my baby, so I can never get truly mad at it for having to do it. So yeah, flee here again, because I didn't save the last video. But yeah, you can just jump up and... oh wait. I was going to enter the loading zone here, and then I remembered this is an upward-facing loading zone, meaning that is a big no-go with the no-clip. it's all good. We can just go past the Great Conchfly's boss room without killing them. The path to the Raging Conchfly's boss room is relatively simple to get to, even with no clip. There are no vertical loading zones at all. There's one horizontal zone. Then you get to the boss fight itself and you can just walk through it entirely. I wanted to make sure that you see I am leaving this room with these love birds, love conches, I don't know what species of bug these are, alive. Because that's the whole point of this. I want to make sure that I get to the Sands of Carrick, and the Raging Conchfly, let's get out of there. They are alive, as you can see. I want to make sure that there's a good chance the Raging Conchfly just won't appear in the Sands of Carrick. Because realistically, the Raging Conchfly is a boss that's presented to be the Conchfly getting revenge on Hornet for killing its lover in this encounter that we just skipped. And just so you know, once you get past the boss, you can get rid of the no clip if you want. I didn't really... yeah, I'll just get rid of it. The only reason I got no clip was to either use one of the shortcuts, which we didn't really get, or to just be able to get past the boss fight without killing anyone. We don't want to be evil people today, as pointed out earlier. But yeah, I'm hoping, and as this time, I don't know if this is true or not, I am hoping that the Raging Conchfly won't appear in the boss fight that happens in the Sands of Carrick, because we never killed its lover. So, I will cut to that area, and we'll see if they're angry. Sands of Carrick, traversed. Lovers, still alive. Conchfly, raging. So Team Cherry didn't expect us to skip their boss fight with no clip glitches. Who could have guessed? Well, hey. Let's ignore that death for a second. Before we all get too judgmental and start criticizing Team Cherry for not putting in logic that would only be discovered by people like me who are purposefully trying to break the game open and not actually follow standard game design principles, we can't say for certain that this is a mistake. Given the lore of the game, all we know at this point is that this is a raging Great Conchfly. We don't know, beyond an implication, that this is the same Conchfly that appears in the Great Conchfly fight earlier. It could be an entirely separate Conchfly, raging for an entirely separate reason, at which point it makes sense for it to be here, and we no longer have to justify a lover going after Hornet, who is innocent in all matter and has never killed a Conchfly lover in any part of this playthrough. So hey, it may seem like an... you know what? I don't even think it's an out-of-the-way justification. The game never strictly tells you that this is that one Conchfly's lover. So I'm just gonna say, it's not. And because I have shown you specific proof that the Conchflies from the earlier boss fight were not killed in this playthrough, then that means that I'm just gonna say that this is not the same Conchfly. Now, before ending this video, I have to do what is the purpose of any great researcher, and prove that killing this Conchfly encounter does not remove the other Conchfly encounter. Because if it does, then it will be harder to justify saying this Conchfly is entirely unrelated from the pair of lovers we saved. So please, Team Cherry, please make it so that when I go back to the Conchfly lovers, they're still alive. It is the whole reason I made this video. I just want some happiness in Farloom for once, please. Despite our worry, love wins. We have finally made a Hollow Knight video where Hornet is the good girl, the true hero of the story, and not the one who ruins a kingdom and kills societies and steals their hearts for no reason. Finally, we've done it. You can skip the Great Conchflies and explore the entirety of Sands of Carrick. And that Raging Conchfly, just a random guy who was mad for no reason and started attacking Hornet. Hey, you can even look at the projectiles these guys shoot. They are the small ones and they only deal 1 mask worth of damage, where if you watch the previous boss fight, the Raging Conchflies dealt 2. That means it's entirely different creature entirely. I will brook no other arguments. So at this point, I guess we should just save and quit and leave them to their love. Have a good day, everyone. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this and other very meaningful content for Hollow Knight Silksong.